Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem. Jane, making a personal up-close video update that I know a lot of people has been waiting for. In 2014, I was in America and I was staying with some friends, and we went to a meeting in their church, and they introduced me as Jane Keel, who God had spoken to about leaving her family, her nation, her culture, her language, her friends, her church, everything that I knew, to go to a completely foreign country where I didn't know anyone, trying to figure out what is it that God wants me to do in Israel. One man looked at me and he said, and that literally was part of becoming who I am today. He told me, when I see you, Jane, I see a photo of an eye. I see your eye, and here in the corner of your eyes, you're going to be crying buckets and buckets of tears, because God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is going to place in your hearts the same love that he has for his Jewish people. That's what he said to me, a complete stranger. And it really, really touched my heart. For 10 years, to the best of my ability, I have been trying to share news out of Israel. I came from a small town in Denmark, didn't know anyone, started making videos when I got a smartphone that could do that. And I have really tried, to the best of my ability, being one person for nearly 10 years, to share the truth out of Israel. My whole life changed when I went to the Temple Mount and I started recording videos about the horrible harassment from Muslim, especially Muslim women, towards the Jewish people who was visiting the Temple Mount. That drew attention from Muslims around the world, and as you know, I was kicked off the Temple Mount several times, talking to the police, having Muslims following me around on the Temple Mount in the old city, getting threats. And through that, I did interviews. People were getting to know about me, about Jerusalem Jane, being the pale Danish blonde woman sharing news out of Israel. Can I just be honest with you? All of that is a lot to take in. All of that is a lot to deal with. Being a simple small town girl coming from Denmark, all of a sudden having your life threatened, people following you in real life, people threatening you online. All of a sudden you became famous in mainstream media, in Christian media outlets, people coming to Israel and they want to meet you. It has been quite overwhelming, but I have tried to walk on the path that I felt God told me to do. Sometimes I did too much, and instantly my physical body paid the price. After all of these years, I can also see now that there's been so many good things, amazing people who came into my life to be a blessing, to encourage me, to lift me, to help me. But the other side has definitely also been in the picture, which has hurt me, derailed me. So it has been a lot to deal with. But I found out that I had to narrow down to the things that God told me to do, and that was two things. First and foremost, just letting the Jewish people know there is someone who left everything she knew to come to your country to comfort my people. That is my biggest task. That is my main job to do here in Israel, to say you are not alone. This is your nation. You are not occupying this country. The Bible is true. The Bible is the land of Israel. This is your nation. And then, because so much is happening here security-wise, that's the issue. That's the things that I'm sharing about. Again, through all of this, I have been one person with equipment. What was that? One little phone. The one I'm speaking to now is 4 years old. It has a cracked screen, but I am doing the best that I can. So if you go on all my social media platforms, you will see that I have literally, if you pulled it all together, I have done more than 1,000 videos sharing news update out of Israel, making videos, recording, making live videos, speaking the truth out of Israel, sharing photos, sharing my personal testimonies, sharing stories that from people that I met, me being interviewed, me being interviewing other people, and except from making some live videos with a dear friend of mine, Ali, then he was brutally murdered in a terror attack, which shook me to the core. So here we are, 10 years later, and I am at the most important time of my life. This year I had to pull back because I started having issues with a knee, a lot of pain in my knee. I had just moved into an apartment which I thought was going to be nice, but without going into a lot of details, this apartment was not in any way ready for a new tenant. Literally everything that could be broken was broken. So I have had to deal with so many issues in this apartment, which has been really sad, to be honest, disappointing and stressful. And then I had a knee that all of a sudden started hurting a lot. I was sent to physiotherapists, I was sent to here and here. And when I am dealing with all of that, it takes my strength away from being Jerusalem Jane. So after having MRIs, going to the hospital, having an injection into my knee, they started talking about surgery. And I just came to a point where I've said, enough is enough, enough is enough. I am not doing anymore. I am done having physiotherapy. I am not going to go to any more hospitals or having surgery, because this is a bigger picture. It's not about my knee. It's about all the attacks that has been come at me towards my health especially. So I am taking the biggest step of my life after stepping out in faith, coming here to Israel, saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. The hurt, the pain, the trauma, the injuries, the death threats, the wrong people in my life, everything I have dealt with this year, for God to bring so much healing into my life, being delivered from so much hurt and pain and trauma, just in collaborations with people who deal with that area, and the people God has brought into my life has been closest to me. So that's why I have been so quiet. So here we are in the beginning of September 2023, just before we enter the high holidays. We have strings of terror attacks. Israel is on high alert within and also on all the northern border, all the borders here in Israel. If you look around the world today, you think people are going crazy, the world is going crazy, the weather is going crazy. But one thing that I stick to, and that is my compass, is the Word of God, the Bible, that this is God's holy land and the promises to the Jewish people stands. But me being all alone, been working all alone, faithfully, making more than 1,000 videos for all of these years, but also living alone, being single, having to do the cooking, the cleaning, the hauling home without a car, when in the midst of it you have to report about 2 more brothers who were brutally murdered in a terror attack, a mother who was brutally murdered in a terror attack. It stops now because it's not enough anymore. It is simply not enough. And if you want to know what it's like to be Jerusalem Jane, girly boots on the ground, sharing the truth out of God's holy land, it's war. It is completely war. I have been a soldier for the last 10 years, and sometimes a soldier gets wounded and you have to pull back and get healing, and that's what I've been doing. So what's going to happen for me now is, for me, I am in a season where God is healing me, but where I am praying, saying, God, moving forward, everything has to change for me. Come December 1st, the contract in this apartment comes to an end. I knew when I moved in that this apartment, small, dark apartments, was for a year. So I am praying now, saying, God, you know that I have to move in less than 3 months. I need a big financial boost again from the bottom of my heart. The people who donated to the GoFundMe page and the other donation platforms more than a year ago has kept me alive for an entire year. I didn't buy a new phone. I didn't go on a holiday. As a matter of fact, I haven't left Israel or had a holiday for 6 years. So moving forward, everything has to change. I am closing the door to the chapter of this, and I am excited to step into something new. And that new is I need to out and find a new home. I need to have a big financial boost again. I need new equipment, and I need the right people that I believe for such a time as this, God has already spoken to and prepared to get alongside me and help me moving forward. So that's what I'm praying about right now. Help work-wise, cameraman, assistant, a driver, help in my house with the cleaning that is difficult for me when my job is being Jerusalem Jane. And I'm just telling you, war is going to come to this country and I am going to be so busy. So will you pray for all of these things? Those of you who know me, who has been following me for years, who knows my heart, is standing with the Jewish people, that supernaturally there will come a lot of provision. I need a lot of provision again. I need to find the right housing. I need to move. November 30, I am moving out of this apartments for whatever God has in store for me. I believe with all my heart and soul that my voice is still needed going out of Israel. Sometimes I'm being compared to other voices going out of Israel. And then there was someone saying, that's not fair, Jane, because you're the only Gentile who left everything behind and came here. The other ones doing it, they are all Jewish, they're all Israelis, this is their land, and they have families here, Jane. You are still here, all alone, in a foreign country, speaking up for Israel every day. And that actually touched my heart. So sorry for a little bit of a long video, but it was important for me to give this update because a lot of people has been waiting for it. Please pray for new housing, for provision that I need, for the right people to come into my life, because moving forward, being Jerusalem Jane, going out, sharing what I'm sharing and being more busy is going to be life and death. That's the only way I can describe it. So thank you for praying for all of those who can do more than that, who has an apartment in Jerusalem, saying, Jane, move in and be safe come December 1st. Please contact me. For those of you who can send a financial blessing and say, we know who you are and what you're all about, Jane, and we want to bless Israel through being your voice. The GoFundMe page is still active. I'm going to share that link. There is a tax-deductible donation platform in America. Everybody in the world can use it, but if you're in America, it's tax-deductible, and a PayPal also. So thank you for all of you who have stood with me for the past almost 10 years. There are some wrinkles around my eyes. There's a little bit more kilos on the belly, but my heart is still beating. The passion is still alive. I have been set aside this year because of the whole knee injury. So I need to have my body slowly getting back into order, getting strong again. So I'm not going to be running all over the place, being active right now. I'm going to be working from my house, trying to get my health strong. We are entering all the high holidays, and then I have to pack and move. And I don't know yet where I'm going. So that's what's coming for me in the future 3 next months. So may God bless you so much. Thank you for standing with me for such a time as this. And thank you for standing with the Holy Lands. Bye.